it. I drove a race car a few weeks ago. If you follow me, you'll know that that I signed up for the 2026 recruitment test for the 2026 season in France Fontenay-le-Comte. You're gonna drive a 5.7 liter V8 rear-wheel drive sequential 5-gear speed, 400 horsepower, amazing race car. I was there. I tried it. And today I'm gonna tell you what I think, my thoughts, my future, and how similar it is to the sim. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So let me start the story from the beginning. I am Duere Baric. I am a passionate, dedicated sim racer for the past 13 years now. 13 years of racing games like simulators. Gran Turismo is my main game, and just been doing it because I love racing. I love that you can recreate it in the game. So I've got a wheel, and here I am now, an addict. A month ago, like in early November, I got a message from my friend from Canada called Matthew. Shout out to him again. He found the recruitment test from Euro NASCAR. As I said, 5-gear sequential, 400 horsepower, 5.7 liter V8, amazing race car, no assists, no ABS, no traction control, no launch control, no nothing. I said, alright, fuck it, let's go. I'm craving to drive a race car to see if it's similar. So after that, I signed up. I had money to afford it because I was bartending all summer and just threw all my money into that test, like hour, minutes, and five sessions that last 15 minutes to drive. So my preparation, how I prepared when I was getting into that car. I had a month for preparation, so like 5th November is when I found out, and exactly 5th December is when I was getting inside that car. How I was practicing? I found this mod on Assetto Corsa, the Euro NASCAR 2021 car, so it's not the 5-gear sequential, it's a 4-gear. But still, it's a Euro NASCAR, it has the same body, it's basically the new regulations, it's only the 5-speed sequential. I drove it. Well, use my VR headset so I can feel in the car, so I can use the maximum. Because if I use VR headset, if I use everything to immerse myself to the end, to the max, the more I learn at home, the less I need to learn on the racetrack, so I use the maximum. I was reading this book by Ross Bentley, for my preparation before getting in a race car, and honestly it felt so weird reading that book, because when I was reading it, it felt like I did this all before, like understeer, oversteer, it felt like I did it all. So my main point, the strongest part you need to learn, like you need to train, is your mental strength. Why? Because, like me, let's get into my in my world. I wanted to be a racing driver since forever. I want this all my life, and now it's my chance to prove myself that I can drive a race car. We are coming from sim racing, this is all that I did. I never drove a rear-wheel drive car on the road, not ever. Only on the sim. I knew that I had to prepare mentally. I needed to believe myself, have a strong head, and just send it, just focus what you're doing. So I was, calming down every night, visualizing my lap times around the track, because I didn't have the track mod, so I trained on the videos I did on boards from Euro NASCAR on that track, and always, with my eyes closed before I go to bed, I was visualizing the track and pretty much learned it. I've did some fitness training, so I get ready physically, getting into the car. Thank God I've been going to the gym for the past 3 years, so that was not a problem because I'm pretty fit. So I did cardio, that was important for endurance. I did core strength, I still do it. Neck strength, which is not really that, it's necessary because driving that car, it doesn't have downforce, it doesn't have that much downforce, so it's not really hard on your neck. But it's still nice to be prepared, to be one step ahead of everyone, because, I want to be at my best. What I did for my mental strength as well, and my physical strength, my fitness, I ate healthy, I'm still eating healthy. Because if you eat healthy, your mind is happier, because as you eat healthy, you're like, okay, this is good for me, I feel great. And yeah, so I ate healthy because when I eat fast food, I feel fat, I feel bad. That's what like destroyed my mental health basically for that time. So I started, trying to get myself to eat healthier and stuff so I can be much more prepared, much more fit. And the more you're fit, the happier you are because you feel better about yourself. And that was all leading to my mental strength being better, right? Because the only limit you'll have when you get into the car is your mind. If you think, like, I didn't come all the way to France to shit myself. I came all the way to France because I knew I could do it. That's why I came there. So basically, yeah, mental strength is very important in a race car. Let's get to the great part, the actual moment of truth. So let's say like this. I did my mental training, I did my fitness training, I did my driving, I did my knowledge, I read my books, I did some knowledge on the internet, and now it's time. Let's book a flight, let's go to France, and let's get there. When I started traveling, I was calm. It was inverted because the moment you're closer and closer to the real thing, like it should be much much more and more stressful. But the closer it was, I was more and more calm, which is very weird. So night before, I thought like a month ago I could not sleep because I was so stressed. I was so stressed. I was close to, you know, thinking, oh geez, I can't do this, But that mental strength really changed the way I approached that test. Because the night before I slept like a baby. I never slept so good in my life. I was so calm. I didn't overthink it. I didn't overthink embarrassing myself. I knew I was there to get that job done. So I woke up the morning, ate, drink a nice shot of espresso and basically healthy stuff. And then I came there. And funny story, I always freak out when I see a race car, like when I see a great car, the car that I love. And one of my favorite cars is the GT3 RS because it's a monster. It's a GT 3.5, right? Uh, it was there on this trailer of amazing cars, and I was like, I didn't care about them. I didn't care about these cars. I was so calm and so like soulless about the whole sport that I was like, Jesus Christ, it's getting dark. Wait, let me turn on the lights. Where did I, where did I end up? Yeah, I was so calm because I knew I needed to have a cool head because I don't need myself to start shaking, to be stressed. What's gonna happen? I got my race suit on. First time I got a race suit on me, and looked at myself in the mirror. I felt like it's my superhero suit. It felt so cool. I felt like a hero. Felt like, oh Jesus, you're in a race suit. It's cool, man. And then, the moment came. It was my turn to get into the NASCAR. The roaring V8. He started purring. I was getting into the car through the window. And oh my god, I didn't have any fucking reaction when I got into the car. I looked into the car, into the cockpit. It looked all familiar. It looked so similar to the VR thing. Like I felt like it wasn't any serious. I wasn't scared. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't stressed. I was just getting into the car. Like I was getting my road car, my fucking Volkswagen Caddy or my Volkswagen Lupo. It felt normal. It didn't feel nothing special. I didn't feel anything special, but it was the moment of my life. It felt weird. And I was just alright. The car, ignition button, tip up, and then click the button for the ignition, hold the clutch in. And Jesus Christ, the roar, like the V8 roar, like everything on the dashboard, everything was shaking, the wheel was shaking, the whole car, the whole fiberglass body shaked, and it felt powerful. Alright, and then, thank God, my biggest fear was not driving the car, but it was stalling it. And thank God I didn't stall it once. So let's go, let's start. First session. I was taking it easy the first laps, but I knew what I need to do in my first session because I had limited time. I had 5 sessions of 15 minutes. And what I've done, I was running the car to its limit. Like I was exploring the first session, like If I was going careful, if I was driving, normally, if I was driving passively, like, like a citizen, I'm on the public road, then I wouldn't learn anything, right? Because I won't feel the limit of the car. That's the first thing. I won't overcome the fear of losing the rear, and that's the two main points that were needed to be learned in the first session because I had limited time. So while everybody was taking it cautious on the first session, I was flooring it to the fucking max because I knew if I felt everything in that session, my fear will go away. Like, why does it oversteer? How does oversteer feels? How does understeer feel? How does locking up feel? I needed to learn everything there. Also spun the car and didn't lose my confidence because I was so calm. Like when I spun the car, I actually left because that's what you need, That's what you need. Because it's a learning process, You're not gonna be perfect at the beginning, but you're building up to it, building up, getting this track time, I had limited track time, but I was using the max, the most of it. So I spun the car. I was happy that I spun it because I felt that there's no traction through there. And that was my first session, just exploring the limit of the car. Got outside, I still didn't have any reaction, didn't have a smile on my face, just was like, alright, so I need to do that, that's how that feels, that's how that feels, that's how that feels. And I remember being so surprised because, I thought the simulator was gonna be close, but I did not know it was gonna be that close. Like, I did not know that the sim is so similar to the real life because I felt familiar right away. Everything made sense to me. Everything felt like because in the simulator you get the information from the wheel, but now I get information from my ass, from my seat, the ass. Like I get all the information I need, plus more in the real life. Third session, getting faster. The track is getting drier. It was a bit damp, like the track was a bit cold and wet from the last night. It was damp. It was damp and greasy, so it felt pretty tricky to drive. That's why, like, I never drove in these conditions, and that in real life as well. So it was pretty tricky to put the power down. So after the third session, I gone to the engineer and he told me this: your steering and your racing line is perfect. Your throttle control is perfect. You just need to work on your brakes because the brakes, I needed to gain confidence under the brakes. So I started after that tip. I started after that advice. I started just started trusting the brakes more. Trust the brakes more because the brakes are so good on this car. I started the fourth session. So like 2 sessions left, right? The fourth session I started braking harder, and I felt this squeak in the brake, which is like I felt like I heard the limit of the brakes. So just follow, like, listen to the sounds, Started listening to the sound, and I was braking so much later, so much more confident, and it felt great. And then I got onto the slicks, and then when I got onto the slicks, I was like, all right, let's go. Dry tires, slicks, let's go. Let's see how that feels. So I had 15 minutes to know what the slick tire is like my last 15 minutes in the car. And oh my god, was I familiar with that? Like, you can put the power down much more earlier, but they gave me a set of slicks which had a flat spot on the front, so it felt disgusting. Like on the straight, you felt insane vibrations. Like I could not see the track, but I still braked to my instinct because I knew where to brake and everything. So yeah, I did my session pushing the car, like it was so fun to drive. Everything felt, I didn't feel the fear once. Once I didn't feel the fear when I got into the car. I got outside the car and I saw, god damn it, out of everybody, I was 1/10 behind the first place. Like the best time. I was 1/10 behind the best time, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So 1/10 behind out of 10 of them, like I am one of the sim racers that never got into the car. These are all professional drivers, right? And I did my second best time out of everyone that has experience behind the wheel. I am just from the virtual world. Yeah, 10th off. I was like to my engineer, man, I'm disappointed, but he told me that is insane. That for first time in the car, I've I did something very special. Then after that, I was at a briefing and I got an offer to do this rookie challenge, so I can go into the season next year. And I really thought I was gonna go, and then I saw the price. The price is insane. I mean, insane. It's like level entry price for motorsport. Like it's still reasonable, but it's still fucking crazy because it's motorsport, right? Like for some people, it's insane. Like for us, like for me, it's unreal amounts of money. And unfortunately, I can't do it. I cannot do it. And then honestly, I should have never tried it. I should have never tried driving a race car because I know I can do it. Like I'm capable. You know, I have the recipe to win a race. I feel I always believed in myself. I always told everybody, trust me, I can drive. You know the old sim racing stereotypes. And yeah, it hurts that that's probably gonna be my last ever time in life that I will drive a race car probably because now the reality is what it is. You know, it crushed me mentally. It crushed my dreams, and now of course, yeah, cool. At least I drove a Euro NASCAR, but still, you know, it feels very painful. You know, because you felt that moment. You felt it. These 1 hour and 15 minutes of driving that car. You felt amazing. You're like, I want this in my life. This is the best thing I've felt in my life. And considering that I will never ever probably ever feel that thing again, it's very sad because via rookie challenge I will be getting my FI international license, which will open a lot of doors for me, and I can't attend it because I just can't afford it. And yeah, I'm looking for sponsors, but I really highly doubt no anybody will help me, support me. But that's harsh reality, you know. It's worse than anything I ever felt in my life. But I mean, I'm gonna keep fighting. Like I don't think it's ever over in life because I've been chasing this for a long time, and now that I prove myself that I can drive, it's it's painful. It's really painful, and it's one of the worst things I've ever felt. So yeah. Main point is sim racing is legit, and you can definitely drive a race car if you really take your time into it. You really need to be mentally ready, because I was. And I don't know what to say. That's it. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna start posting on social media. You know, trying to get recognition. Maybe something happens. Maybe I move out. Maybe I need to do something with my life because I want this. I want this all my life. And now that I lived in this delusion for the past 2 months that I can do it, and then reality struck. Racing is a rich man's sport, and that's how it's always gonna be. Nobody will ever, there's a lot of people in the world that are amazing, but they'll never get a chance to do it because life is unfair. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. If you watched to the end, I am very thankful for that. But yeah, reality is it's sad, and I'm really in a dark place right now. It hurts. It hurts. But I'll start posting more on this YouTube channel because I want to share my passion with everybody. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and have a good one. Peace.